Hello everyone, once again welcome back to your English class. We will today do the explanation of Unit 10 Coming Home to Delhi, Part 1. Dear students, as we all know that Delhi is of great importance for our country. It is the capital of our country and it holds many historical places which are of great value for our country. As you can see, all these images, all these places are of great historical importance for our country, and they all stand in Delhi. So in today's lesson we will talk about Delhi, and we will know how the speaker is admiring the beauty of Delhi. This lesson is written by Madhur Jafri. Para number 1. It is probably at dawn and dusk that Delhi offers the most beautiful part of itself. I remember as a child going away from Delhi and my grandfather's house on holidays to hill stations. Now, in this paragraph, in the starting 3 lines, the speaker of the lesson is saying that Delhi offers the most beautiful scene at the time of dawn and dusk. What is the meaning of dawn and dusk? Are the time periods when the sun rises and the sun sets. He says that Delhi offers the most beautiful sign at this time, and he says that he remembers about the beauty of Delhi while he used to go to hill stations for holidays. When we returned, it was always a night journey by train. My mother would shake us awake as we neared the Yamuna River. Delhi lay just beyond it. Flocks of squawking maynas and parrots would be circling the pink sky as the steam train travelled towards Delhi, and soon it was time for the morning tea. Now here he says that every time when they used to return to Delhi, it was usually night journey, and the speaker's mother used to wake him up, and he says that they would see the flocks of squawking maynas and parrots circling in the pink sky. What is the meaning of pink sky? They hear this word. Both these words are resembling to the sunrise when there is very little, or we can say there is very dim light in the sky, and it shows very pinkish, or we can say oranges color in the sky. Tea was a simple affair, bought from vendors who marched up and down the train with a large kettle chanting hot tea, hot tea. It was served in terracotta cups that added to the sugary, milky tea a delicious flavor of their own. As soon as we had our tea, my mother would pull out her purse and take from it a generous amount of coins. This was a sign that the train was about to go over the Yamuna bridge. Each child, armed with a handful of coins, would choose a position by a window. We would take one coin at a time and hurl it on the holy currents of the Yamuna. Now here in this paragraph, the speaker is saying that having tea early in the morning from the vendors who were marching up and down the train, holding large kettles and chanting words hot tea, and he is saying that the speaker of this lesson is telling us that this tea was served in terracotta cups. What is the meaning of terracotta? Terracotta means made of clay and baked in fire. It was served in terracotta cups, which added to the flavor of the tea. And he also says that when they were about to finish the tea, their mother used to take out some money, and which it reminded them that they were about to reach the Yamuna bridge, and each child was handed over some coins, and they used to take position on windows so that they could drop the coin in the Yamuna, in the holy currents of the Yamuna river. If the coin hit the water, our mother told us, we would be blessed. If it hit a washerman beating clothes on a sandy island or the bridge, then no blessings could be expected. Now, here, dropping coins in the currents of Yamuna river is regarded the as a as a as an activity of faith in our country. As you all know, that whenever we pass through Yamuna river or Ganga river, we usually do this. The Indians do this. They drop coins in the currents of the river or Ganga, so that they could get the blessings from the river Ganga and Yamuna. Here also, the speaker is telling us that his mother told him that if the coin is dropped in the current of the Yamuna river, they will be blessed, and if it hits the washerman beating clothes on a sandy island, then there will be no blessings. We would try to get our blessings as quickly as possible because the approaching city called for our full attention. With the sun raining gold on it, the domes and minarets of the 17th century Mughal capital looked like they might be in a miniature painting. Now, here in these lines, the speaker of the lesson is admiring the beauty of the city. Here he is saying the golden rays of the sun which fall on the domes and minarets. What is the meaning of minarets? Minarets means tall, thin towers of mosque. Here he is saying that when the golden rays of the sun fall on domes and minarets of the 17th century Mughal capital. Why is he calling Delhi as the 17th century Mughal capital? Yes, he is saying calling it as the capital of Mughal dynasty because India was ruled by Mughals for a long time, and in the 17th century, Delhi was the capital of Mughal Empire at that time. That's why he is saying that when the sun rays fall on the minarets and domes of the mosques or Mughal capital, it looks like as if it is a miniature painting. What is the meaning of miniature? Miniature means an ancient manuscript, usually small pictures used to illustrate the manuscript. He is saying that it looks like a miniature painting when the golden sun rays fall on the Mughal capital. This was my city, the city where I was born, and the city of my ancestors. My heart invariably skipped a beat when I saw it. Delhi, India's capital city, is a combination of many Delhis. For the last 1,000 years, as rulers replaced each other, one Delhi was torn down to build another, often with the stones of its former self. Now, here he is saying, in this paragraph, he is saying that Delhi is the capital of India, and he is saying that when he sees Delhi, his heart always skips a beat. means he gets so much excited that his heart starts beating faster. And here he is also telling us that it has been the capital of our country. It has been the capital for ages. For ages. He is saying that for last 1,000 years, as the rulers have changed, one Delhi was torn down, or we can say one Delhi was replaced by another Delhi. Why is he saying that it was torn down? It was, here he is saying torn down because whenever one ruler used to decline and the other used to uh, rule the particular place, he used to create his own kingdom. He used to build his own place on that particular area. That's why here he is saying that one Delhi was torn down to build another Delhi. One of Delhi's conquerors in the last millennium, the Mughals, were known for the great wealth and taste. They built two cities, of which Shahjahanabad, now called the Old City, became famous throughout the ancient world as the seat of the Grand Mughal. Coming from distant places, these rulers longed for the food and climate of their home. Now, here, uh, in the last three lines of this para number 3, it is being said that one of the Delhi's conquerors in the last millennium means 1,000 years. In the last 1,000 years, Mughals, who were the conquerors about whom here they are talking. They are talking about Mughals. Mughals were known for their great wealth and taste at the time. The speaker of this lesson is telling us. They built two cities, of which Shahjahanabad, now called the Old City, became famous throughout the ancient world. He is saying that Mughals built two cities, which was known as Shahjahanabad, and it is nowadays it is being called as Old City, and it became famous throughout the world in ancient times as the seat of the Grand Mughal. Seat of the Grand Mughal means place from which the Mughal emperors ruled. Coming from distant places. Why these words coming from distant places been given in bold? They have been given in bold because they are resembling that those people, those Mughal rulers did not belong to our country. They came from distant places. The ruling class of Mughal Delhi had come to India from Central Asia and Persia. That's why they are here. It is written coming from distant places. These rulers longed for the food and climate of their homes. They could do nothing about the weather, but they built gardens, water tanks, and canals. The Mughal carved marble canals that went through their palace bedrooms, and they ate their own food. As the years went by, some of their dishes were included and accepted as part of the city's local food. Persian style pulaus that combine meat and rice, samosas, pakoris, and of course tea. Now here the speaker of this lesson is telling us that those rulers used to long for their um, native lands, so they can't do anything because they were ruling in our country, ruling in our place, so they can't do anything about the weather of our country, but they built different gardens, beautiful gardens, water tanks and canals, and these canals um, went through their palace bedrooms, and they ate their own food. They ate the dishes which were um, which were made in their homelands. So some of their foods like pulaus and rice, pulaus, samosas, pakoris, and tea, all these things became accepted and got included in the local food also. At my grandfather's house, the men in my family learned Persian poetry and ate delicate kebabs. The women, though allowed some education, were kept at home for most of the time. When they played tennis, the entire court was cleared so that no one could see them dashing about in flowing saris and tennis shoes. On cold winter evenings, a wood fire was lit in the drawing room, where three benches stood in front of the fire. Here, the children, about 2 dozen of us, would sit playing word games. Now, here in para number 4, it's being said by the speaker that in his grandfather's house, the men in the family learned Persian poetries and ate delicate kebabs, while the women were allowed to get some education, but they were kept at home most of the time. And whenever the women of their family used to play tennis, the whole court was cleared, and so that no one could see them playing tennis in saris and wearing shoes. And here he also tells us that on cold winter evenings, wood fire was lit in the drawing room, where three benches stood in front of the fire, and the children of his family, around 2 dozen of them, would sit and play word games.